Well, first of all, let me say without any doubt, one of the crucial characteristics of leadership is empathy.
Over the years now, we have been talking about leadership in Nigeria. A leader is always there for the people. In fact, leadership is not somebody who leads, it's somebody who serves. And the presidential candidate of Labour Party, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, has always been talking about empathy. Continue. The other day, he was heading to Benue State to visit the IDP camp as well as a nursing school where he promised to make some donation to the institution. But unfortunately, he was denied entrance into the state by the state governor, who claimed that he is not aware of the intention of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi coming to Benue State. We all know there is no way that you needed anyone to explain to you as to the reason why the governor of Benue State denied Peter Obi from coming to this. It was political. And if you have seen and followed carefully of the person who is coming to your state, you should understand that yes, this person is vying for the office of the president, but then he also has been contributing to the development of some critical institution. So why stopping him? Anyway, we understand his politics, and you want to continue having, enjoying the favor you are having from the backing you are having from the federal government. So you wouldn't want to toil with that window at all. But however, let's take a listen to this Yusuf Baba, who talks about the visit of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Katsina, where we have a lot of insecurity, we have a lot of people being killed, both in Katsina, in Plateau, in Borno, but the president didn't care to visit, but he's there for a visit for the wedding of the state governor's daughter.
That there is need for leadership in Nigeria. And let me say this before we proceed, because I don't want to be caught up in the politics of it. Let's speak to the issue of leadership. From time immemorial in Nigeria, let me backtrack to around 2010, at almost the peak of this terrorism and insurgency in Nigeria, Charles. Presidents have lost elections because of lack of proper optics. I remember the Yanya bombing, Boko Haram in Abuja during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan, and the hue and cry of the lack of demonstration of empathy. So let us be clear about this. This is very important. Why is it important? Because during campaign, they use the optics to get the win to election, to convince people that they need to be voted into power, whether it is president or anybody across the strata of leadership. So very important, and I like the point you make, Charles, about the president of India and even in America. Everywhere leadership demonstrate empathy and connect with the people. That has been lacking in Nigeria for about 15 years or more. And what we are saying is we need to see this. You don't need the periodic time of elections to demonstrate the optics. It is part of leadership. Now, pointing to the visit of Mr. President to Katsina, I think the issue with the optics that I have with it is, with profound respect to His Excellency Governor of Katsina, they are going for the wedding of his children. But let us not forget that that is one of the hot pot of escalating terrorism in Nigeria. And I think part of the negative optics is the fact that Mr. President did not visit when people in Amusa, Entomaiki, and other places are being slaughtered. Albeit now he is coming for a wedding ceremony. Neighboring Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Co, and what we have in Borno. And I think the leadership was not able to organize this communication strategy, early enough. Now it seems it is permeating into the North Central, and most likely if Mr. President visits Plateau and Benue, the people in Northwest will say, oh, so we don't matter. And that is why it is important ab initio to have a communication strategy that will include these optics across Nigeria. It is the job of Mr. President to demonstrate that empathy, not just by bulletins, but being on the ground and connecting with the people, not just Benue, Plateau, and across Nigeria. So I agree, most likely the optic is good. And that is why when things are bad, we should visit people. Just like when there is time for merriment, we should visit people. When we visit for merriment in the midst of crisis, it appears we don't care. And that should matter.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually have the people of Nigeria at heart with this action. Make it make sense to me that the president visiting Katsina at a time where people are dying, but he never cared to visit those places, but he's visiting on 2 days working visit. I mean, who goes on working visit during weekends if it is not because somebody is getting married? and then a lot of dignitaries will be there. So therefore, you know now, it has been alleged that Tinubu did not actually convince Nigerians to vote for him. He only ride on the horses of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission alongside other stakeholders who paved way for him to become the president of Nigeria. We saw the Maradona dribbling of the vice presidential candidate of PDP in the 2023 general election, talking about Senator Okowa, who deflected to APC, which many are believing that him running under that platform in 2023 was just a mole who was working for Tinubu in disguise. You see? So now, looking at him visiting Katsina State, many are already saying that his visit to Katsina State was to align with the political actors in Katsina and not for the will, for the benefit of the people in Katsina. Imagine. Take a look at the convoy. Look at the number of vehicles escorting Mr. President. Some are even justifying the reason why he was not in Katsina all along, all for security reasons. But are Nigerians not in Katsina? Are they not living and sleeping in Katsina? So if it is not fit for Mr. President to be in Katsina, why is it fit for Katsina citizens to remain in Katsina as of when insecurity is so high in Katsina State? If you are telling me that Mr. President cannot go to Benue State to sympathize with those who lost their lives and property in Benue State for security reasons, then there shouldn't be any individual living in Benue State as of today because there is security issues. This is what I believe, and this is what makes more sense than anyone trying to tell me and convince me that the reason for the president of visiting those states that were attacked by the terrorist organization, which they are now romancing with the United States Embassy, is because of security reasons. It doesn't make any sense to me. I believe that many Nigerians who have sense also can see it clearly that no citizen should be living where there is an insecurity. If the president cannot live in that environment, then no citizen should be living in that place. The president lack of empathy, the president lack of leadership, the president lack of care or whatsoever is the reason why Nigerians need to rise up in 2027 and say, no, we can't take this anymore. Enough of all of this. You swore to the oath to protect the life and properties of Nigerians, but unfortunately 2 years down the line, it seems like you are only caring about your own life and properties, not that of Nigerians. And for that reason, vote him out. Thank you.
ga motar da kake cewa nan
ga motar shi na wurin ga nan ka gan shi ne